How's it going, ladies and gents? Today I bring you something special, which is how to make your own games. Yes. Back when I was in school, sort of aged 13, 14, I had this sudden urge to start trying to make my own games, and I didn't really know where to start. And I was never thinking kind of like, you know, industry standard games, like proper, you know, Call of Duty style stuff, but I kind of thought it'd be great to make just some nice 2D games. Just really basic stuff like Pac-Man or whatever, but I thought I'd show you a bit of this today just in case anyone else is interested in doing the same kind of thing. This is GameMaker 7, does what it says on the tin, makes games, but like I said, it's not going to be sort of industry standard 3D stuff. It is mainly just sort of 2D basic games, but it is whatever you want it to be as long as you have the imagination and the programming skills. But it does actually lead you into it quite easily, so if I just show you a little sprite just to start with. I don't know, let's make a random object we're going to have in the game. Let's make a face, really badly drawn face. Nice little smiley face there. And let's animate it, why not? Colorize, 10 frames, we'll make it go to blue for some reason. And also rotate. I love this software, by the way, just the inbuilt graphics editor. Alright, so that's our sprite there, just a little spinning, flashing face. Now the way it works is, the majority of this game, or the program rather, is making games via drag and drop actions. So, if I make an object based off of this sprite, the sprite is just what it looks like, the object is actually what does stuff. So if I say, okay, when the object's created, I want it to jump to a random position, just anywhere in the room, on the screen, whatever, just jump to a random position. Then in the step event, which is basically just, I mean, you've got loads here, like colliding with another object, when a key press, or whatever, you know, all this kind of stuff. I'll make it so during the step event, and like, as well as just using the drag and drop actions here, which are already like pre-made sections of code, you can add in your own little snippets of code if you want to. So I will put in this little bit of code which says, I don't know, while one, this is pointless because it's in the step event, move towards point, I can't type today, mouse X, mouse Y, and at a speed of 15. Why not? Right, so that's the code. So what it should do is, when it's made, it jumps to a random position, and constantly it will move towards your mouse position, which is fine. Make a room. The room is just basically where all the objects are stored. So just the level, if you like. I'll put it, I don't know, anywhere. That'll do. That's the room. That's our little object, and now let's test the game. Run the game. Hey, it's both here. Right, so he's made here, and he's not doing anything, so obviously it doesn't like my while statement, which has no value. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the code you can transfer from, like, C or Java or something, but it is really its own language. It's called the GML, like the GameMaker language or something. So to be honest, you might want to look into what sections of code actually work with it. But a lot of constructs like, you know, loops and stuff normally do work, so here we go, here's the random face just moving around. So that is our basic game, so hooray, that's my first game made. So if I quit this, I'll show you a game I made earlier. No, I do not want to save changes. Mountain Combat Extreme. Yes, my first ever quote-unquote completed game. So if I open this... this is a terrible game. You're Timmy Brown and in great danger! So, you drive your buggy across this really pixelated landscape. You move around with the directional buttons and you just click where you want to shoot and it does. To be fair, I was really impressed with this for my first game. Like, I was genuinely happy to have made this when I was like 13, 14. Most of it was drag and drop actions, but the more you kind of get into it, the more you get towards using extracts of code, because it's a lot more sort of compact and easier to understand on the big scale. So, you know, it does encourage you to start using code more, so it's an easy route into stuff like, you know, C, Java, Haskell, that kind of stuff, just general programming. I'll just take these guys out. This is cool, look. When you get every 100 points, you get a new weapon, so if I press 2... Yeah, boy! We got a boomerang! The only boomerang in existence that doesn't come back to you when you throw it. Right, that's enough of that. Pretty simple game. The devils just move towards you. Now I will show you a helicopter example. Let's open this up. Alright, there's a little skip there because I had to figure out what I was doing, but here we go, helicopter example.gmk. Now, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but GameMaker 6 is what I learnt on. GameMaker 7 is the version which started to be developed by this company, Yo-Yo Games. Originally it was a guy called Mark Overmars, but it got bought out by this company. Now, version 8 onwards, you can actually get your games and export it to, like, you know, HTML or Java or the Android market, iPod app market. It's really good, like, they have a lot more functionality now. But if I show you this, okay, basic game, 2 sprites, a little black dot thing, and then a little helicopter triangle sprite. The way this works is, in your room you have your helicopter, and there's one little control object. Now, object 1 is invisible. All it does is, it'll either move up and down, or it'll move just, you know, to the right, I guess. I think that's what 270 is as direction, but... basically what happens is, you have this little object moving sort of towards, along the side of the screen, and then it'll create the walls of the helicopter sort of either side of it. Let me play the game and show you. So if I run the exe... okay, so basically you have this black object sort of in the middle, being invisible. It's creating the walls sort of symmetrically around it. And as the score gets bigger and bigger, you can see it in the window, what do you call it, title. As the score gets bigger and bigger, the walls get faster and faster, and they also sort of narrow the gap a bit more. So, you know, it's a reasonable example for a helicopter game, but did my score just go down then? Was that a glitch in the programming? Let's see how much I can get. Can I get to 2,000? Can I get to 2,000, my friends? No, because that is ridiculously hard. Here's a bit of code. I mean, this is the bit I was talking about. Instance create, and then, you know, at the width. And then, you know, as the score gets bigger and bigger, you know, the gap narrows, so... that's essentially what it's doing. I mean, it's a fairly simple example, but I'll put that example and these 4 quote-unquote completed games in a zip folder for you guys to download if you want. They are exe files, so your virus software will probably flag up a warning, but I can tell you they're fine because I made them, so, you know, hopefully there's no hidden worms inside them or whatever. I will show you Luster Sequence, why not? This is a game I actually went back to recently because I did find the original code file, so I could edit it, finish it off. If I go to, let's enter the cheat in, press C to bring up the cheat menu. Pyrotoz is the password, and now we can customize it to whatever we want. Let's change the background to snowballs, why not? The color can be purple, and the game objects will be, let's put number 2. So if I go back to the main menu a sec. Okay, so that's the actual game object now. I was so happy with this game, honestly. Like, it's really not that advanced, and you wouldn't want to play it for too long, but just the programming itself, I was pretty happy with. Let's put it on fair difficulty. Alright, here we go. When you click on a face or an object or whatever it is, it will turn black, and everything around it. I just realised the sort of implication of having a face turn black by clicking on it, but normally the objects are light bulbs, which is why it's called Luster Sequence. If you click on it, it turns black, and all the adjacent squares flip colors, so as player 1 you want to flip as many red ones to be green as possible, and the computer tries to do the opposite, so you know, the game works in principle. It's just really, really hard to lose, even against the hard AI, because the computer, it takes a long time to actually choose its move. Because of the way I programmed it, it basically searches through each possible square, counting down like, oh, is there an 8 there? Is there a 7 there? What can I get? It's a pretty interesting game, but it's, you know, it's a game. That's what I'm saying. It's not too bad. So let's quit this. I think I was going to win that. Not hard to beat the AI in that game. But essentially, that is Game Maker. I mean, if you guys enjoyed this, definitely check it out in the video description. I'll leave a link to the Game Maker actual download. There's definitely a free version, but I think now it's more commercialized. They'll try and charge you like $100 to get the full version or whatever. Just give the free version a try. I mean, it's a good laugh. Even if you don't intend to make proper games, it's quite fun to learn. And I'll put all these files in the description if you want to try them out. That's my most recent game, Corruption. It's sort of an RPG platformer type thing. Chicken Capers is just a joke game, like it's absolutely terrible, but Luster Sequence and Corruption, yeah, they're not bad, so hope you all enjoyed the video, hope you all found it informative and interesting, and with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.